TaeKook had dinner together at Scopa the Chef, a restaurant well known for its tranquil atmosphere and carefully prepared food. A Japanese fan, who had traveled to Korea and booked a table at the same restaurant, was able to confirm their presence there. She hadn't planned to go, she simply wanted to try the pasta with truffle cream, the same dish Jungkook had prepared in his recent live cooking video. When she arrived, she experienced a mixture of excitement and surprise that only someone who closely follows Taehyung and Jungkook could understand. According to her account, this was the restaurant where TaeKook had gone to dinner together. The thought of them sharing a meal in that place, without cameras, made sense of everything she had heard about their connection. The fan remembers the pasta as rich and creamy, with a concentrated flavor, served on an elegant plate that reflected care and attention to detail, just like Jungkook's usual cooking style. While eating, she observed the details of the restaurant and thought about how that ambience must have been the perfect setting for a quiet dinner between them. At one point, the restaurant staff showed her Taehyung and Jungkook's signatures, confirming that they had indeed been there. Not only that, they also pointed out the exact seats where they had sat, side by side in front of the window. They told her that they seemed relaxed, talking naturally, laughing softly, like two people who enjoy each other's company without needing any extra words. She imagined that scene as she looked around the empty room, the same one where they had shared a private dinner, probably talking about simple things, maybe music, games, or food, things that made them feel comfortable and real. That image was unforgettable. It was just Taehyung and Jungkook enjoying something ordinary, something that showed the closeness between them without them having to say a word. The staff also mentioned that they had ordered a shellfish salad and a steak, which caught her attention because they were dishes meant to be shared. She didn't order the salad because she couldn't eat it, but she was curious about the flavor they had both chosen. She ended up buying the pasta as a souvenir, something she felt was a symbolic way to take a piece of that moment with her. Right while she was at the restaurant, she received a notification about Jungkook's livestream. At that moment, she realized they had been there before the broadcast started, which perfectly matched the details of the place and the type of food he mentioned. That coincidence further reinforced the feeling that what she had witnessed was real, not just rumors or theories. It was a subtle but clear sign that they share moments off camera. For the fan, that experience wasn't just an anecdote. It was confirmation of something many feel, that Taehyung and Jungkook have a genuine connection, a relationship evident in small gestures and the natural way they spend time together. They don't need grand displays, because it's those details, like a simple dinner at a restaurant, that speak for themselves. Jungkook recently held another livestream on Weverse, and it was something fans truly enjoyed. As always, he seemed relaxed, spending almost 6 hours playing video games and responding to fan comments in real time. He appeared focused yet comfortable, laughing at himself when things didn't go as planned or making light-hearted jokes while playing. At several points, he mentioned that he couldn't see distant details on the screen clearly and wondered aloud if he should put on his glasses. This naturalness made many fans smile and feel like they were right there with him, sharing these small, everyday moments that reveal a more personal side of Jungkook. Finally, he decided to put on his glasses, and in that moment, his appearance changed in a simple yet charming way. His long, wavy hair looked fluffy, his movements as he adjusted the glasses were delicate, and the way he smiled with them on made him look even more adorable and approachable. It was simply Jungkook showing a side that's rarely seen, and that made many feel a deeper connection with him. At the same time, something else made TaeKook fans start remembering past moments. The way Jungkook looked with the glasses, showing a more intellectual and vulnerable side, recalled several times when Taehyung had complimented his appearance or when they shared small accessories in past live streams. It was like seeing a reflection of the chemistry they've always had, and even though they weren't interacting directly at that moment, the coincidence of those details created a warm and familiar feeling among those watching the broadcast. Fans began commenting on how these small gestures showed that even though Jungkook and Taehyung weren't together on camera, they were still connected in subtle ways. Seeing Jungkook like that, so focused on the game but also letting fans see these quiet moments, made the live stream experience much more special. It was easy to imagine what it would be like if they were sharing the same space again, playing, laughing, and showing those little signs that only they know how to give. As the live stream progressed, the audience couldn't help but notice those details. Every smile, every adjustment of glasses, every comment he made about his vision seemed to have extra meaning when Taehyung was involved. It wasn't about making things up, simply paying attention to the way they both expressed their personalities and how those coincidences generated a feeling of closeness. Fans felt excited, reminiscing about past times and patiently waiting for the moment they could see them together again in a live stream. Even though some people downplay every interaction between Jungkook and Taehyung, the small gestures are still there. It's clear that both of them, even when busy and away from the cameras, continue to leave signs of their connection, and that's enough to excite fans and keep them attentive to every detail. This livestream was yet another example of how Jungkook shows his most authentic side, and how attentive and sensitive fans can pick up on those coincidences that bring them closer again to the special relationship they share with Taehyung. Every moment of the stream felt genuine, relaxed, and at the same time full of those little signs that make the entire fandom feel part of something unique. What's truly strange is how people within the same fandom allow themselves to make such a stark distinction without much thought. The same gesture, the same look, the same way of acting, but everything changes depending on who does it. If it's Taehyung or Jungkook, there are immediate negative comments, criticisms, as if they were doing something wrong, but if it's Jimin, it seems like everyone sees him as perfect, as if there were nothing to question. It's odd, isn't it? As if each fan's personal preferences determine what they consider right or wrong. It's not about comparing, or saying one is better than the other, it's about noticing that they all do similar things, but the reactions they generate are different. That alone says a lot about how we see each other. Fans started noticing those small gestures, those moments that seem almost invisible, but that show that Jungkook and Taehyung are connected in ways that no one else could understand. Even when they're not on camera together, there are always signs, ways of finding each other or communicating with glances, subtle touches, things only they know how to do. Seeing Jungkook focused on the game, yet still letting those details show, made the live stream feel more intimate. It was easy to imagine what it would be like if they shared the same space again, playing, laughing, showing each other those silent signals that make their relationship seem so natural. Even though it might seem like a small thing, the way they interact with each other doesn't go unnoticed. No one forces them, no one expects them to do that. The gestures, the glances, the way they seek each other out without saying a word, it all feels genuine. There's nothing forced. And that's what makes it different with each of them. It's not something Jungkook does with just anyone, nor does Taehyung do with anyone else. Only between them is that silent attention noticeable, that way of being present without words. Even when fans try to analyze it, each gesture might seem ordinary, but if you look closely, it's clear there's a mutual understanding. A movement, a blink, a barely perceptible smile can say more than any comment. And that's what makes their connection so special. There's no need to exaggerate or look for external proof. It's all evident in how they move together, how they react without even realizing someone is watching them. In the end, what's most striking is how simple it all is. There are no grand pronouncements, no drama, no forced scenes. It's just them, being themselves, and that's enough for any paying fan to notice. Because it's real. Because no matter what others say, no one else shares those gestures, those looks, that way of understanding each other. And that's why, even though some criticize, even though others celebrate, the truth remains clear, and you feel it every time you see them interact. If you observe them closely, it's impossible not to notice how they silently seek each other out, how every tiny action seems designed just for the other, even though it's actually spontaneous. And that's what makes every broadcast, every moment, every simple interaction feel unique. Because there's no one else who makes them feel this way, no one else who can understand them like that. It's simple, direct, and so easy to see for anyone who wants to look without filters. And perhaps that's what makes everything else the fans say or think pale in comparison to the obvious, that between Jungkook and Taehyung there's something that needs no explanation, no words, no exaggerated displays. It's just there, and all you have to do is look.